Right, good morning. Got a smooth face. Still getting used to it, so you'll have to bear with me. Um, just listening to the first 20 minutes or so of Joe Rogan with Tristan Harris. Obviously, this is a thing that's going on. Obviously, there's some massive concerns. And for some reason, in this, I like to play devil's advocate, and the devil in this case would be Mark Zuckerberg, because it's honestly my belief that he's sitting there. What a lot of you don't realize is Mark Zuckerberg is the king of the world. Kind of. He's accidentally the king of the world, and I think he knows it. And I think he is, because of that. Imagine just accidentally being the king of the world. You're like, I'm doing these things, I'm just trying to do this, I just like video games, and then oops, I'm the fucking, all of a sudden, the king of the world, and everyone, like, I don't know, kings, you might think being the king is amazing, but kings have a target on their head constantly from everyone. And that's hard enough if you're kind of raised to be a king and you have all the system of that and all the history of that behind you. If you accidentally became the king of the world, that would be fucking terrifying. And this is what I believe has happened to Mark Zuckerberg. Because he's trying to figure out the most complicated problem with human beings, which are the most complicated social creatures on earth, at a time when everything is changing, and then just like throw on top of it like a pandemic and like wars and religious things. And so he has an impossible task. His kingdom will fail. It cannot survive, and he knows that as well. I'm sure he knows that somewhere within him. But I'm going to come to his rescue a little bit, because although I'm very critical of a lot of the things going on social media, I don't think some of the algorithms are helping the situation. But unfortunately, I can't knowingly, after knowing everything I know and experimenting in every way I've experimented, and researching and actually experimenting, that's what I'm doing. I'm a fucking hacker. Yeah? I'm a computer hacker. I just do it in a different way. I'm not in there like hacking passwords and doing codes and all this shit. That's not what I do. I don't do that. I'm socially hacking this fucking thing because it's a social network and it's fucked. It's so fucked up. And the reason old Zuck can't do this is because Zuck can't do this. Zuck is a hacker, like computer hacker. He knows all of the back end. He doesn't know this fucking shit. It's not his specialty. There's always been social hackers. Social hackers are people that jump into the sphere of influence and fuck around with it because something's wrong. And it's, from my perspective, it's like something I was born with. I've been doing it since I was born. It's not, and this is the other thing, it's not like I'm a sociopath, because it doesn't help me out at all. It just makes my life hell. Sociopaths optimize their lives to be better, and psychopaths optimize their lives to be better. I do the complete opposite. My life gets way worse the more I try and do this, but I still know I have to do it. It's like a duty. You know what I mean? Some people have duties towards royalty. Not that Zuck is my king, but they have a duty to the people around them. And I think I'm just, it's my personality. It's a combination of my personality my age, like I was born into this, and I understand it enough. Like I'm right in that generation. I'm the same age as Zuck. Like I know what's going on culturally. And then the main thing, I have fucking 3 children that I've raised into this environment. And they're hitting ages that I know this is going to become either beneficial or detrimental. So I have a really strong emphasis. If you've got your kid, you know, propped up in front of Bluey, like, you don't get this yet. I'm doing something for you you don't even understand yet. Because you just fucking, you know what I mean? You've spent your whatever. And like, this is just the thing. You spent your 20s fucking doing whatever the fuck you wanted while I was raising fucking 3 children. And now you're thinking you know everything because a fucking influencer told you that has no children, that doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So this isn't, it's not a Zuck problem. Unfortunately, it'd be real easy just to go, it's Zuck's fault. Mark Zuckerberg is the problem. But unfortunately, it's not. It's your fault. And why is it your fault? Well, because it's complicated. It's your parents' fault, it's society's fault, it's everyone's fault. When you take a generation and you tell them that their 20s should be spent partying around the world and doing whatever they want and living their best life, hashtag this, hashtag that, rah, 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 which existed before social media and exists kind of alongside social media, then you're going to get this effect. And this is why it isn't global, it's geographical, because we live in Western culture, which is very superficial, very self-centered, and very dumb culturally. We don't fucking care about history. We don't care about the arts. We don't care about anything. Like even science, like we don't care about science. That's why people can go and use it against us for a marketing campaign in the most unscientific way, and everyone fell for it because no one actually understands science. That's actually what happened. And I just had to sit there. And the more I like tried to be like, that's not science, the more I looked like a thing. Because you're like ready participants to cult land. Because that's what happens. Cults prey on people that are just wanting just to be freed from their responsibility, to live peacefully with whatever. No conflict, man. I don't want conflict, man. I don't want to break the vibes, man. And unfortunately, it's like, psh, yeah, where it's real. And they just heard you. They just heard all you fucking getting your fucking milk bottle fed degenerates into these fucking stables of cult land. And then you get the real sociopaths who just get in there and just tell you whatever they want. You know, I don't care if your dad doesn't want you to have an avocado. You should have 7 avocados a day. And you should get my skincare because it's so much more. And you should know that I'm right because of my data down below of how many followers I have. We started an economy of followers. Zuck didn't do that. He gave it the tools. We're the ones who followed it. We're the morons. Well, not me. I'm not a moron. I follow really intelligent people, man. You know what I mean? I study my own thing and I create my own content that doesn't have any followers. So on that equation, I should be the most wokest of the woke because I don't have any followers. And unfortunately, although that's a joke, because I'm just provocative, so that's, you know, no one wants to put their hand in the fire. But it is a little bit true. It's not his fault. It's our fault. You know what I mean? And people, the real people that we look back at that have like really fucking like, you know, changed the world, that we have monuments and things for, a lot of times they're on the outer of society. They weren't carrying around the thing of like how many people follow them. Like, hey, did you know I have this many people? Oh, this many people. We didn't have a scorecard of followers. So it's in here. It's our fault. It's our problem. You know what I mean? In combination with some of the tools have been, you know, optimized for business reasons and advertising, but it's not just Zuck, and I'm sorry.